guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Aoife, I'm Studyclix's content manager. Today I'm here with Donnchadh. Donnchadh, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Hi, I'm Donnchadh O'Mahony. I'm a guidance counsellor in Loretto College, Stephen's Green, and I also run the Leaving Cert Guidance Instagram page.
Cool, so if you're interested, we're going to be talking to Donnchadh today about career guidance. He has loads of tips for us, so make sure you keep watching. So Donnchadh, results day is always a really nerve-wracking time for students. There's always people with questions. I suppose, what are the things you actually need to know before you go in and get those results?
Yeah, so results day, it can be very overwhelming for students. So I suppose the first thing you need to know is when you get your results, the results are produced by the State Examinations Commission, the SEC. So there'll be no Leaving Cert points on it. The points are for CEO purposes only. All you'll have on your certificate that you're getting is the grades. So it's important that you understand how to calculate the grades. So the grading system changed in 2017. It's not like it used to be. It's very different. And to maybe bring in somebody, be it a family member or a friend or a cousin, who knows how to calculate the grades, because I've seen students get very overwhelmed when they get the results and find it difficult to calculate the grades. I've seen some brilliant stories where students come to me and say, I think I've got too many points, but they have calculated it right. I've seen somebody come to me where I said, I can't believe I've only got this amount of points, and they've calculated it wrong, and they actually got more than they thought. So it's important to know how to calculate and to maybe bring someone with you who also knows how to calculate the grades.
Yeah, and there is those CAO calculator apps. Isn't there one on the CAO website?
Yeah, there's one on the CAO website, Careers Portal. There's loads of different apps you can get. But familiarise yourself before you go in.
Definitely. So then I suppose obviously the grading is kind of different, like the points for ordinary level are that bit lower than if you did a higher level subject. And the one question we always get asked on customer supports and even on the discussion forum is, say you do that higher level maths subject, do those 25 extra points count even if maths wasn't one that you counted as your 6 top subjects?
Okay, that's a good question. I actually get that question an awful lot myself. So if you're not counting your maths in the top 6, you cannot use the extra 25 points.
All the hard work goes for nothing.
The extra 25 points are only for the maths. You can't transfer it over to English, Irish, or whatever the case may be.
So I suppose that's kind of a good thing to take into account when you're deciding, are you going to keep up the higher level maths and are you going to count it as one of your 6 subjects when you're kind of thinking about it? Because, if you don't think it's going to be as high as your other ones, like, is it worth those 25 points? Yeah,
so a lot of students ask this, is it worth it? But I suppose when you look at it and think, right, if I'm getting a standard H6, that's 46 points. If I'm adding 25 points onto it, that's 71 points. So you're close to a H3 there. So it is a huge amount of points. Now, the reason you're getting those points, obviously, is to encourage students to take higher level maths. But it's because higher level maths students tend to spend more time on the work than another subject might take. So that's kind of the main reason to encourage students not to drop it. Try and keep them on with this 25 extra points. But they're huge. It mightn't sound like a lot. When you start calculating, those 25 points are big.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, say, okay, forget the higher level maths, but say you fail a subject. Is the fail rate 40% or is it lower?
So now it's not. So H7, which is considered 30 to 39%, can be used for a lot of universities, colleges and ITs, higher education institutes, as a entry requirement.
Okay, but say, yeah, it's the entry requirement, but say you get 20% and it's in English or it's in one of those kind of core subjects. Do you fail? There's this thing that everyone says, you fail the Leaving Cert if you fail maths, or you fail the Leaving Cert if you fail English. So
if you want to go to an NUI college, the matriculation requirements are English, Irish and another language. If you failed English or Irish or your language at ordinary level or higher level, you won't get a place on it. In DCU, it's generally English and maths. In UL, English is a requirement as well. So even IT's English is a requirement. So English is probably the most important subject. However, if you fail a subject, it doesn't mean you fail the Leaving Cert, but it might hamper the entry into a higher education institute.
Yeah, and I have heard those awful stories of people getting enough points but not getting the entry requirement. So that's a thing, like say you get 550 points but fail English. Are you just not going to get into college then if that was an entry requirement? Yeah, so it would
be recommended to go back probably and repeat, because nearly all higher education institutes do have an English requirement or English as an entry requirement.
Okay, and then say you're not happy with your results on the day, you can, number one, appeal them, and then if you're not happy with that, then you can repeat the entire Leaving Cert, is it?
Well, you can actually get your scripts rechecked. So you can sit down yourself, have a look and see, was there something wrong with the marking here? Do I think this grade might go up? And then appeal it. And hopefully the appeal might go up. The appeals can also go down as well. Now the number that go down during appeal is very, very small, but that can happen. Say for example, you got a H2, you got 89%, 88%. To appeal that and go up, there's more of a chance than if you got 80 or 81 to go up to a H1. However, if you appeal at 80 or 81, there's a good chance you might go down as well. So you have to be very careful what percentage you're at when you are appealing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Say you are at that 85 and you might go up, but you could go down, or you are at that 81. Maybe it's not worth actually appealing it. But I suppose that's kind of hard to know if you're going and viewing your script by yourself. So would you recommend that students bring in like a teacher or someone who's good at that subject to have a look with them?
Yeah, so all the dates for rechecking and looking at scripts changed last year, where they were actually still during the summer holidays, and a lot of teachers mightn't even be around to come in. If a teacher is available, that would be brilliant, amazing, bring them in with you. If they're not available, it would be worth bringing someone in with you that might be familiar with the subject, be it an undergrad student or a brother or sister who might have done it and says, okay, this is a glaring mistake here, maybe we'll appeal it based on that. So it would be a good idea to bring someone, whether that's a teacher or not, will be tricky.
Yeah, and the other thing is you can take photos of your scripts now, can't you?
You can bring in a phone, take photos. You can't bring in a pencil or pen or anything like that for fear that you might change something, but you can take pictures, yeah. But even some subjects have been corrected online, so you can actually view that script online now. So you download as a PDF. If you go into school and view your script, you have a certain time limitation, where if it's done online and you download it as a PDF, you have no time limitation. So you could actually, send it to somebody and say, look, do you think this is worth appealing or something like that?
Yeah, and the day after results, don't they release the kind of percentages you got in subjects and kind of the breakdown of your marks? That can be a good indicator as well.
Yeah, so the day after they give you the marks, they don't give you the percentages, you'll have to figure out the percentages yourself. So again, this is why there were so many appeals last year. If a student now sees that they got, like we said, 89% H2, they'll probably appeal it and hopefully go up that 1%. I have no students who've got 89.75 and who've appealed. So they don't round it up. A lot of students think, oh my God, I got 89.75, why didn't they round it up? They don't round it up, that's your grade. It's only 90% up will be a H1. So I've seen a lot of students get that close to a 90% and they do appeal it. There was more appeals in 2019 than any other year because students started seeing what grades they were getting.
And then say of the percentage of people who actually go to appeal it, do some people just not change at all? Like, because I've heard of a lot of people who kind of go and appeal it and they really think they're going to go up from the 89 to 90 and they don't.
Absolutely, and they don't. So the examiner might recheck it and feel like, no, this was a good grade, I'm happy enough with this, and it doesn't move, it doesn't go up or down, and that does happen a lot.
Yeah, and you have to pay to appeal it? Is there like a fee that...
So there is a fee if you want to appeal a script. However, if your grade goes up, you get that fee back. If it stays the same or goes down, you don't get it back.
Then in terms of you want to appeal it, who do you go to? Like, do you go to your careers teacher? Is it different from school to school? Do you do it yourself?
So it's different now that you do it yourself. So the SECs, the State Examinations Commission, have their own student portal now. So that's where you see your grades the day after. It would be on this. So you can click to view your scripts on this, and you can even click to appeal your scripts on this as well. So it's very easy to do now.
And then say in terms of the CAO offers, they come out 2 days after the Leaving Cert results, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you want to accept it, it's a text you get, isn't it, from the CAO, and you have the choice to then accept your course. Is that
exactly,
it?
Yeah.
So say when it comes out to the day of the CAO offers, there's a certain few rounds of offers. I think there's round 1, 2, 3. So say you don't get it on the first round, is there a chance that maybe a day later you're going to actually end up getting the course?
So there absolutely is. So like we stated earlier, there's 50 places in a course. We want to fill up those 50 as best we can. Now, there's a deadline date in first round to say, I'm accepting my course. Some people don't accept their course. So those places go into a second round where they can be offered to people. Now, the way the points come down is, well, the last person that accepted a place on round 1 was 450, or offered a place on round 1 was 450. The next round, we're going to have to go down to 445 to get the next person, or we might have to go down to 440. So that's how points change in subsequent rounds. Sometimes they could be offered say 450 was the points. Sometimes there's students who got 450 but didn't get a place in the course, and they're offered the next round.
Okay, and that's another question. Say 4 people get 450 points and that was the lowest. How does that work? Who gets in?
So it's complete lottery. There's no way that they pick it. It's just a lottery on the 450 points. There might only be one place. There's 4 people looking for it. There's 3 people going to be disappointed.
Yeah, and then in terms of appeals, when you actually get the appeal back and you have gone up and say you do get the course, do you knock someone else out of the course, or how does that work?
Okay, so the way it is the course have to do their best to offer you a place that year. However, if there's no possible way they can offer to you that year, they will offer it to you in the subsequent year. So if, say for a certain reason that they can only have 50 on a course for health and safety reasons and you were number 51 and you went up in the appeals, they'll say, look, we can't give it this year, but we can give it to you next year. However, if it's a possibility that they can give it to you that year, they will do their best for you.
Well guys, thanks for watching today. Donnchadh, thanks for breaking that all down for us. It was really helpful and I think people will find that really, really useful. So if you liked what you saw, make sure you like and subscribe. We have loads more videos like this with Donnchadh going through all these bits of advice, and there's loads of great tips out there to help you. So Donnchadh, they can also find you on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, follow me at Leaving Cert Guidance.
Cool. Well guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.